one of the many, many wonderful things about getting older, don't laugh, and I'm affirming that there are many, many good things about getting older, is that my learning curve for things has shortened. Because I used to be really hard-headed, and it would take me, I still am to a degree, and it used to take me a long time to get a lesson, a long time. Now, it's almost like that now. Something happens, I realize out of balance or something's not feeling right, and I start to tick back to what's in my spiritual toolbox to help me get back to where I like to be, which is at peace, and be at equanimity, and I'm feeling like all is right with the world, even if something is happening that I'm not particularly happy with at the time, and I'm trying to make sense of it, or make sense of me in it. So, the last few weeks have been challenging, and as I moved through them, I was just doing stuff. Just being where I needed to be for people I needed to be there for, and occasionally during those 2-3 weeks, I paid attention to myself. But most of the time, I didn't have time for that, so I just kept moving. I was just doing all over, flitting all over the place, doing here, doing there, stuff for the house, stuff for people, stuff for the center, stuff for other things I do, going to meetings. I now have a mastermind meeting that I'm in every single morning, 8 o'clock. And I love the meeting, however, I love my mornings, and I wasn't used to having to be with other people in the morning. So that took some breathing in and out. And I do love it, and I look forward to it. But now I'm giving myself permission to not be there on mornings that I just want to be with myself and be with God, or be in my meditation, or be outside in nature, whatever it is. Because before, it's just driving myself to be there. Committed to this, I'm going. By God, I'm going. And then by the end of the day, by the time I do that with a whole lot of stuff, by the end of the day, I'm whipped. Which is not where I want to be. I want to feel like I've had a great day. I was productive when I needed to be productive. I rested when I needed to rest. And then I can lay my head on my pillow and smile and drift off to sleep, rather than having to do all kinds of mental exercises to calm my type A self down, so I could maybe get a couple of hours of sleep and then wake up the next morning and drive myself through the next list of things to do. I was used to living like that for many years. But what I realize now is that sometimes what there is to do is not to do. And sometimes what there is to do is to rest and to relax and to draw back and to spend time doing whatever, whenever. Even if it's just to lay across my bed and pretend I am a lady of leisure every single day of the week, and that I can do that when I want to. We have a real human, and I think divine need, and at some point I'll stop talking about those two things like they're different, because we are humanly divine and divinely human. It's the same thing, like mind, body, which I've said before. Mind, body it's not two separate things. Mind, body is one thing, because they cannot be separated. Neither can our humanness be separated from our divinity. And so there's this need within us, this calling within us, to be at rest and to relax and to be and to feel and to look at the world, like Raheem said, to just be the drone, floating over things, observing, taking stock, what's happening, what do I need to pay attention to, what am I ignoring, what's calling me, what's happening. And if we're flitting around doing, we can't have those thoughts. We don't have that kind of recognition, and we miss whatever the soul is trying to say to us, because we're moving too fast. Or, if you've been diligent in your spiritual practice, you can often hear the messages that your soul is giving you in the midst of chaos, but you don't make time for it because you're too busy doing. You think, oh, I'll do that later, I'll do that later. And then I noticed I've said, I'll do that later, probably about 50 times in the last 2 or 3 days. And when are you going to make time? And then at some point, my body reminds me, we shouldn't do that. It doesn't serve us. It doesn't serve us. And how about if you rest? How about if we not get to where we don't feel well as a reminder that we need to rest? Usually in my life, that was my reminder, that I would get sick and then I would rest, which is, first of all, not enjoyable. Second of all, your body's healing and working so that you can feel better and get back to your status quo, your healthy status quo. So you're not really resting and relaxing, and I don't think recuperating from a cold or the flu is fun. But usually that's what I've done to myself. I kept working until my body said, okay, you're really not listening, so I'm just going to lay you down for 5 days, and let's do it that way, because you're hard-headed. And it's the only way you listen. I'll just make you sick, because that's where you're driving me. The wisdom of the body is incredible. At some point, it says, I want to do everything you want me to do until I can't sustain it anymore. And it's incredible how far the body will let us go before it says, all right, I'm tapping out. I'm tapping out. I need rest. I need perhaps not to eat so much or eat certain things for a while. That's why we don't have an appetite when we don't feel well, because the body needs to truly rest, and it just wants to lay down. It wants to not be busy. And so it just puts you in a place where that happens against our will, because we're not listening. We're not listening. We're not listening. Thank God I listen more often now, and I listen more quickly now. So I gave myself a day off this past week, a whole day, and I canceled everything. Even something I really, really, really wanted to do, and I enjoy doing, but I needed to be home. And my body felt like it wanted to be home. I didn't move too far off the bed. I mean, I went to the kitchen to get something to eat, but that wasn't often, and if it required more than 5 or 10 minutes of fixing, I wasn't fixing it. And that's exactly what I needed, was to rest and relax, to read, to let something entertain me, instead of me being the one who has to do all the work. And to relax. Relax, relax, and rest and restore. Rest and restore. I mean, how many times do you think about just restoring your mind, body, your soul, and your heart? How often? We don't serve ourselves well. So as I was resting and relaxing, it's interesting what comes up. So this is Psalm 23. And most often you hear this psalm read at funerals. But it's got one of the most beautiful, peaceful messages, I think. And this is from the New International Version. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord. How many days do you need to just lie down in green pastures? And just a beautiful, verdant landscape. And let yourself lay there. Picture yourself laying there, looking up at the blue sky with the clouds moving overhead. As soon as I thought of that, I thought, man, this is just where I need to be, even if just in my head. To have your soul refreshed. To have something guide you along the right path so you don't have to think about, is this right or is this wrong? Am I going where I need to go for my highest good? But how about if we just let the divine guide us, shepherd us to exactly where we need to be? And not question, and just say, okay, we're going here now. I know it's for my highest good. All is well, all is good, because all is God. That's right. Lead me. Lead me. And even though I walk through the darkest valley, and it's not talking about valleys literally, usually in the King James Version, it's valley of the shadow of death, and I think that's why they always read it at funerals. But there's a valley of death everywhere. We die to something every single day. And if we're not, we're probably not progressing. We need to let go of something probably every single day. And probably what I need to let go of day after day after day after day after day is my need to produce or feel productive or feel like I'm getting something done or I'm striking something off my list, my irrepressible list. Oh my God, I love lists. I probably love them too much. I probably need a support group for lists.
We should make a list about that.
Let's list that. Let's list the things that are on my list. I need to let go of that. I use this wonderful app, and it has it. I am so much more productive in the last few years I've been using this app. And you can list all your tasks. It syncs up with your calendar, so your appointments are there in between your list of things to do. And you can schedule your times. How long do I want to do this? How long do I need for that? And you can schedule it all. But sometimes my active Virgo mind that loves ticking stuff off and loves being in control, loves when I tick stuff off in the right time slot. And I get excited by that. And I go ahead and laugh. I don't care. I know I have a thing. I know I need help. And I do need a support group for that. But I've finally gotten to the point where I can just let that go. And it's a thing to do, but I don't have to have it done by 8 o'clock on the dot. I mean, that's my thing. Nobody cares but me. Nobody cares but me, but there are times when it's like I'm competing against myself and I'm thinking, oh my God, because it'll tell me how many more minutes I have left with this particular task. I'm like, ooh, can I get it done? 25 more minutes, I can tick it off. Yes, oh my God, I'm so excited. It's just me and my phone and the app going crazy like that.
I'm exhausted.
I know, aren't you? I am too. Oh. And as I'm laying down exhausted, I'm excited about the fact that I ticked that off, though. So I got to work with my crazy mind. That's my human need to just get stuff done and be so proud by midday and think by 12 noon, I got everything ticked off when I said I was going to tick that stuff off. Yay. And here comes more stuff. Yeah. Now I got time to do the more. How about if we have time to do the nothing? How if I just go sit with my legs dangling into the pool and just look at the water move around as the wind blows? How about if I do that? I know, I should list that. How about if I walk around and talk to all my plants again? In the morning, because I go out in the morning and I touch them all and I say, good morning, lovelies. Oh, you're so beautiful today. And we have conversations. They say it helps. That's right. Yeah, no, my plants are healthy. They are, they're beautiful. But I go out and I remind them how beautiful they are and I water them. So how about if I stroll around one more time and make the rounds and tell them how beautiful they are midday too? How about if we do that? How about if we do the things that feed our souls more often? Because a soul needs to be fed. Especially in the kind of world we're living in that's noisy and demanding and that prizes production. Prizes production. And we've fallen into that trap. And yet it's so easy if we will just let ourselves be guided by Spirit into a world that's full of balance and joy and peace and a status quo that is healthy, where everything we need is supplied. We don't have to worry. You don't have to stress about stuff. You don't have to figure it out because we've already been communing with the God of our understanding, and every single thing that we need is closer than our fingertips. It's just residing right here, waiting for you to recognize it and say, oh, that's my next step. Oh, that's what we're doing now. Oh, that can wait until later. Oh, that doesn't even have to be done. I thought it was important, but I can thoroughly let that go. The psalm also talks about being anointed. And we've done some anointing here, and I'm always moved by that. An anointing comes from centuries ago. But the beauty of it is that it means that we are set apart in this time, and that we are being told that we are, it's an affirmation of your holiness and how sacred life is and how sacred you are in that life. That's why people were anointed with oil. It was a sacred thing to say you are special. You are special. And here in the psalm, it talks about the head being anointed. And how about if we woke up in the morning or throughout the day, thought of ourselves as anointed once again by Spirit to the very thing that we're doing at the moment, especially if it is rest and relaxation, especially if it's a time of prayer. I've let myself have times of prayer during the day. I used to think it was relegated to my morning time, but sometimes I just pause and I want to sit and have a time of prayer in the middle of my day. And that might be my green pasture for the day. Those are my quiet waters, the still waters. Have holes on them? Do I want to go there? I don't know. I'm afraid to ask.
18 of them.
No, the golf course. Whew, thank God. I didn't know where he was going with that. Whew, I was kind of scared, people.
Those are dirty ones.
Sometimes I didn't go there.
You could be thinking of him dating.
This audience, I don't know.
Yeah, that's mine.
18 holes of golf.
That's right, amen.
Okay. Everybody's boat gets floated in a different way. I guess the important thing is just get in your boat and float. Right? Get in your boat and float. Rest and relax, get back to balance. Lately, my niece has always thought that her job is responsible for her work-life balance. I said, I don't think that's why they hired you, but I think that's a paradigm a lot of people have now. And I remember my father teaching me that I'm responsible for how I feel when I get to work and throughout my day. And that if I'm looking for balance, I don't even think we were talking about work-life balance back then when he was teaching me that, because that was when I was first working and having more important jobs, not just something to pay the bills, but something that was a career for me. And he said, you're responsible for that. Your job's not responsible for making you feel good about who you are and how you're living and what you're doing. That you need to feel that way before you get to work. You're the one who has to do that work. And I think he's right. I mean, it'd be nice if you get to work and people come and they pump you up and make you feel good about who you are, tell you you look lovely and you're making all the right decisions. And if you're not making enough money, just let me know and I'll pay you more. I mean, it doesn't matter. You just tell me whatever it is you need and I'll make it right. You need a day off? Take some days off. You don't need to be at work. I mean, have any of you worked there and had that? No?
I'm manifesting that now.
I know. We're the ones who have to take care of us. We're the ones who really know what it is we need if we will pay attention to that which is guiding us through life. Every single thing is given to us if you will allow it to give it to you. The force that is God, that is love, is seeking you always, is thinking of you always, has your highest and best in mind with a capital M all the time. And if we will open up to it, it will give us every single thing we need in every single moment. But you gotta let go. You gotta let go. You gotta do this. I'm glad I'm living like that most of the time. I'm still not there all the time, but most of the time I'm there. Most of the time I got my arms wide open. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Tell me what I need to know in this moment. Tell me what's right. Guide me, guide me. And then you trust, and then you do what you're led to do. Do what you hear. Do what you hear. Don't question, just do. Because while you're questioning, you could be already there where it's trying to lead you. Instead, you're trying to think, well, I don't know if that's a good decision or not. And I don't know if I want to do that. I've never done that before. That's not how I'm used to living. I know I asked you for this. Did you really hear what I asked you for? Because now you're trying to give me something. I'm not sure if that's the answer. Gosh, I've done all that. And all it did was delay my peace. Because every single thing I've been led to gave me peace. Every single thing I've been led to gave me green pastures. Gave me calm waters. Set a table before me, before my enemies. Gave me exactly what I needed in the moment I needed it. When I asked and just opened my arms and said, okay, I'll go. Okay. Thank you for giving me what floats my boat. And I just float on the boat. I'm here. I'm here. Restore me. Restore me. Life doesn't have to be a relentless list of things to do. It can be things we love or want. And I think if we're engaged in things that we don't love to do, perhaps we need to look again or ask. Ask, how do I get what I love? How do I get to experience what I love all the time? How do I get that? Show me, show me, show me. Lead me there, and don't question. I've never, ever been disappointed. Not only have I not been disappointed, I'm generally blown away at what has showed up when I've said, show me. And it usually came in a way that I could not have conceived because I can't make that happen myself. His divine mind knows all things, holds all things. And as soon as we decide there's something we really want and we believe in it, then all kinds of things start happening up in the quantum field, in the energetic field to make it happen for you. It brings it to you. That's the law. You ask and receive. You ask, believe, and then you receive. It shall come. It shall come. That's a word we've lost in modern language. We're losing a lot in modern language. Shall is one of them. It shall happen. Not maybe, not kinda, not if only, not but. Shall. It shall happen. It's coming. It has already happened in pure potentiality. And it's showing up. And all we have to do is open our arms and say, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And feel the feelings of the thank you, of the gratitude, of seeing the things show up in your life. And you just say, oh, man, that just happened. That just happened. That thing I didn't think could happen, happened. Again, that's why I start my affirmations now within a world of infinite possibilities. This is what I want. Infinite possibilities, because that's what God is, infinite possibilities. So things that normally couldn't happen can happen if you affirm with spirit, with infinite mind, capital I, capital M, infinite mind, that it has happened. And I'm just saying thank you, because that's the law, and it shall happen. And then you do your little happy dance, whatever that looks like, and then it shows up. And then you happy dance again. But maybe what we're not asking for often enough is rest and relaxation, for restoration, to refresh my soul. Refresh me. Make me feel brand new. Refresh me. My soul is tired. Refresh me. So what are you asking for? What do you need? Often it's not more. Sometimes it's less. Not that it's greater or lesser. There's no such thing in spirit. There just is what you want, what you desire in this moment. Comfort me, refresh me, restore me, guide me, anoint me. And know that you already were before you asked. Because you already love and you already have everything you need. If you'll just open your eyes to it. Because that's how spirit works. That's how love works. That's how the world works. We are it. We are of God. We are divine. So all truly is and all is good. Because all is God, including us. So let's take this in a meditation. So just breathe and let go. Let go of it all. The schedules, the list, the obligations, the responsibilities, the missions, the callings, the requirements, the rules, the regulations. Because all that is truly needed is peace and breath stillness and clarity, harmony of body, mind, spirit, and heart. All that is needed is for us to open our arms and say thank you. Thank you. Open your arms wider than you've ever opened them before. Thank you for rest and relaxation. Thank you for life. Thank you for solitude. Thank you for a heart that fills to overflowing with all good things. Thank you for tears that help me to let go of what I feel, that let me express my grief and my sadness, to cleanse my body of all that it is holding, to release the pain that I walk with. Thank you for breath that lets me fill my lungs and bring much needed oxygen throughout my body, that lets my chest relax so I can see and feel clearly. Thank you for touch. For a hug that reaches my heart, for the touch of a hand that reassures me. Thank you for warmth, the warmth of the sun, the warmth of a smile, of skin against skin, to be reminded of our humanity. Thank you for blue skies and verdant paths. Thank you for infinite possibilities, for knowing that there is no rock and hard place. I never need feel stuck again, for there's always a way. Thank you for anointing me, calling me sacred and holy, limitless. Thank you for giving me dominion, authority over my life, my thoughts. To create with abandon, with joy, with passion. Thank you for work that fulfills, Thank you for laughter, for connection. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for comfort whenever I need it. Thank you for unfailing law that I can lean on every single time I need to. For blessed assurance. Thank you for leading me to my highest good in all things at all times, in every moment. Thank you for rest, restoration, refreshment. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is, and so it shall be.